There's an increased bustle at the country's airports in August-September because that's when India's festival season kicks off, lasting a good 6 months right into January. But in recent years, there's a parallel bustle at the country's airports. Hundreds, thousands of students at the international terminals, on their way to study abroad, perhaps never to return. Teenagers leaving by their thousands should be eyebrow-raising for any country, but in India we don't seem to care, perhaps because we are 1.42 billion strong. Here are a few scenes from Telangana where US-bound students with their parents are crowding the Hyderabad airport. The youth bound westwards for the US fall season admissions. How many of us were familiar with US fall season admissions even a decade ago? Cut to Kochi, and there is an Asian record in the Limca Book of Records as one of India's leading study abroad consultants, Santa Monica, gives a pre-travel briefing to 7,236 students bound for Canada. All of those students in a single intake into a single country. Up north in Punjab, there's heartburn as Canada's Northern College's Scarborough campus revoked some student admissions. Canada College's sudden admission cancellations bring disarray among students from Punjab, reported the Economic Times. Apparently, the disruptive move was due to the overwhelming surge in applications received by the institution. The numbers are telling. Data shared by the Bureau of Immigration with the Diaspora Engagement Division of the Ministry of External Affairs shows the number of students going abroad to study each year. 2018, 518,015 students. 2019, 586,337. 2020, which was a COVID year, a dip, 259,655. 2021, it picks up again to 444,553. And last year, 2022, 750,365. Add that up and you get 2.5 million plus students having gone abroad over the last 5 years alone. And this year, the student outflow from India could hit 1 million for the first time in a single year. According to the Ministry of Education, currently there are 1.3 million Indian students pursuing studies abroad across 78 countries. Last week it was revealed that India has the highest number of foreign students in Germany, 42,000, which is a 25% rise within a year, according to the German ambassador in India, Philipp Ackermann. The rise in study abroad numbers has fueled a student housing boom. Homegrown student housing platforms such as Amber, University Living, and UniAcco that help students find accommodation near campuses across the world are targeting a 2 to 3x annual growth in business on soaring demand not just from Indian students going abroad, but other international students as well, reports the Economic Times this week. I asked social scientist PK Michael Tharakan the implications of such large numbers of youth leaving the country. He says all of it isn't bad. The bulwark of India is leaving, but it also underlines the desires of our youth to be present in the international labor markets, where India already has an important position.
The bulwark of, future India is leaving the country, and most of them are likely to get employment or occupations outside the country. And most of them are planning that kind of a career. They want to be in the international market for labor, in which India has already a major position.
Vijayaraghavan, CEO of India's first IT park, the Technopark in Thiruvananthapuram, sees some danger in the rush to study abroad. He feels many who go abroad to study are not getting into quality institutions and ultimately may not be able to meet their aspirations.
So there are two things that happen in this. One is that a large number of those going are not getting into quality institutions. And they will then end up getting low-level jobs outside, which is going to be very bad. And they're not going to be able to meet the kind of aspirations that they have today or what they think they will achieve.
One question that looms large is why we have 1 million plus Indian youth studying abroad and virtually nobody coming to study in India. A one-way traffic at a time when we call ourselves Viswaguru.
Not that India was bad. many top people around the world actually used to come, especially from the Arab world and African countries, used to come to India for higher education. The Sultan of Oman studied in Pune. Many senior people in the Middle East came to India to study. Alright? Many of the African countries used to send people to engineering colleges. But the problem is that the quality is not enough to justify the kind of expenses they will need to bear to come here. And the second one is that they will not find job opportunities here. They'll be competing with the best of talent in India for those jobs.
Back home, the state of our education appears too flat and stale to attract foreign students or even to keep our own students in India. To add to the disappointment, we hear of Asoka University professors quitting and some others saying this is a threat to academic freedom. And this week, of an unacademic professor being sacked for asking students to vote for educated candidates. Wonder what the teacher would be thinking. Should I have asked students to vote for uneducated candidates? Or merely stuck to the syllabus, for which a robo which can read out the syllabus would have done. And from India's coaching capital Kota, we hear this week that hostels have been asked to install fans fitted with special springs to avoid student suicides. In 2023 alone, 22 students have taken their lives. Varghese Pantalukaran, a professor at the Rajagiri School of Engineering and Technology, summarizes the situation. Education in India has become a commodity that can be bought from the markets of Kota. Shameful state of affairs. Education must have some intrinsic value, says Michael Tharakan.
Education is meant to also, it will have an instrumental kind of value, that is to get a job. At the same time, it will also have an intrinsic value. Intrinsic is because you educate yourself so that you become a better person, better human being. And what the world requires is, better human being.
Meanwhile, the bustle at the international terminals of airports in India continues. After 7,236 students leaving for Canada in one batch from Kerala, in September, there's another batch of 3,600 plus students leaving for the UK. There is an increasing number of YouTube videos asking students not to go to Canada or the US anymore, but nothing seems to stop Indian students from going abroad. Let me leave you with a foreword that suggests some subjects that should be made mandatory in schools. Taxes, coding, cooking, insurance, basic home repair, self-defense, survival skills, social etiquette, personal finance, public speaking, car maintenance, stress management, and some more.